more of a figurative slap across the face is what the Eagles are doing to Dallas Goedert right now. Well, you set me up for it, but I mean it. So Dallas Goedert's still a Philadelphia Eagle. Howie spoke about him after the draft the other day, and we'll get to what Howie said. But Hugh, this morning I saw some news. You see this? George Kittle got paid this morning?
Got paid?
George Kittle and the 49ers.
Hey, man, how much a year?
4 years, $76.4 million with
That's
40.
A nice payday.
Yeah, 40 of that guaranteed. By the way, George Kittle, who is 2 years older than Dallas Goedert, just got 4 years, $76 million. As the Eagles are haggling with a tight end who's been here for years, been to 2 Super Bowls, helped them win a Super Bowl, been one of the best postseason performers ever at the tight end position. Hugh, the more I think about what's going on here, the more I think about how the Eagles have treated the Goddard situation since the season ended, the fact that Goddard got paid today, it really hit me this morning. They're undervaluing Dallas Goedert, what he's brought to this team, what he means to this team. We're nickel and diming one of the better players we've had here in this city for a long time. Hugh, I think they're totally undervaluing him. I was think about what he accomplished just this last year. I know he was banged up, and company man Douglas is going to tell us that in a minute. I know it.
Oh, that's a preemptive strike
yes,
right there. That's not right.
Here's what I know. He saved their season with the touchdown in New Orleans. Okay? He is not just a pass catcher. He also blocks really well. We talk about him as if he's old and over the hill. He's 30. You ready for the ages of other tight ends that are still productive in the NFL? Travis Kelce's 36. George Kittle, by the way, just got paid this morning, is 32. Zach Ertz is still playing well. What do you have?
Damn, Travis 36?
No, Travis is 36. Yeah, Ertz, who we let go 5 years ago to have Goddard play. Ertz is still catching 10 passes in the title game. He's 35. Mark Andrews is 30. I mean, there's plenty of tight ends in the league right now that are this age or older. He's one of only 5 tight ends in NFL history with multiple postseasons of 16 or more catches.
And he went to the White House yesterday.
And he was participating with his teammates. Good for the Eagles. Obviously a fun day for them yesterday. All right? Hugh, his cap number for next year is $11 million.
It's a lot of money.
Well, all right, I'm going to hit you with a number.
No, I'm
going to hit you with a number, and then you can tell me your opinion on this, all right? You know how the Eagles roll over cap space, right? They have dead cap money. They have people on the roster that they have to allocate money for that aren't here. You say $11 million is a lot of money for Goddard on the cap next year. Do you know who accounts for $16 million of the Eagles' cap this coming season?
Saquon?
Jason Kelce.
Oh.
Who's not here.
Okay.
The Eagles are allocating $16 million on their cap next season to Jason Kelce, who's obviously retired and not here because that money sits on the cap. But they can't give $11 million in cap room to Dallas Goedert. I think we're undervaluing this guy. I think the Eagles are. Let me make that clear. Maybe not you, maybe not me. I think the Eagles are. 215-592-9494. Hugh, where do you come down? I mean, you've lived the life of a player that's this stage of their career. You know how this works. I feel like they're undervaluing him because it really feels like they're publicly trying to get him to take a pay cut.
Well, it's probably that. But you look at Dallas in his career, man, and I'm looking at these numbers. He missed 7 games, last year? Mm-hmm. He missed 3 in 2023 and 5 in 2022. The biggest thing is for him is his availability. And that kind of when you have a tight end of his caliber, as good as he is, and I always say this, your biggest asset is your availability. And when you're not available for your offense, a lot has to change in order to get some of the production that they're missing with you. Now, granted, I know that when he's out there, he's a phenomenal player.
Yep.
But it's a dependability thing. I could have, they put it like this. I could have a 10-second 5.0, a car that's a track car. Mm-hmm. Can have a 10-second car, right? 9-second car, whatever. But it does me no good if every time I race it, it's always breaking down. It's not durable. I can't drive it all the time. See, so I think that's where the Eagles are looking at this. Dallas Goedert is still a serviceable tight end, and when you look at the resources that we've allocated to that position, which is none, because we didn't get anybody.
0.
I understand where you're coming from. Now, this is what makes it unique and precarious to me, is that what are you going to do? Like, you don't want to pay him. You don't want to extend him. Like, what do you do? Like, to me, the easiest fix for this is to extend him and bring that cap number down.
Sure.
Extend him to a couple years. That's my opinion, but I'm not a capologist. I don't know what Howie's thinking. And normally when you do things like that, Joe, it is normally you do that to bring his cap number down and it puts money in his pocket.
So I think that's the logical thing. Of course, though, that ties them to him
for
into
a couple more years.
Yeah, and maybe because of the injury history, they don't want to. Hugh, I think your point is logical. I get why they might not want to do that. I just want to bring him back for this year. Like this nickel and diming him over his salary for this year. It's not like they have zero cap space this year. That's what's driving me crazy about this. Like if we were over the cap, right? We got to make cuts. I get it. He's expensive. He's older. I get all that. You make a good point about his injury stuff. Though I will say, Hugh, his injuries have been, I don't know if this is even the right way to say it, they've been kind of well-timed. He's never missed a playoff game, right?
Mm-hmm.
He always gets hurt in like November, right? Then we wonder if he's going to be back by the end, and he seems to always get back. He's never missed a playoff game. He played in 2 and 18, 1 and 19, 1 and 21, 3 and 22, 1 and 23, and all 4 this year, and made huge plays those playoff games. 215-592-9494. Are the Eagles undervaluing Dallas Goedert? It sure feels like. Let's listen to Howie Roseman this weekend after the draft. So the Eagles don't draft a tight end. They didn't get Hugh Mason-Taylor. They avoided that situation. But, I know, they didn't get a Mason-Taylor. We didn't get any tight end here. Let's listen to Howie Roseman talking about Goddard and kind of the way he framed him still being on the team.
Dallas is part of the team, as we speak. Obviously, as we go forward, we're going to continue to address things on this team, and right now, nothing further. Dallas is a heck of a player, heck of a person. Certainly don't want to do anything publicly where we're discussing anyone's business, but have so much respect for him. Been to 2 Super Bowls together, and obviously would love him on this team. You always love having Dallas on this team, but we're not there right now on any of that. But love Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, you know what, Hugh, when he said "as we speak," that "as we speak," I know I'm having trouble. I'm having headphone issues in here. "As we speak" is not a good sign. It doesn't. When you hear "as we speak," what do you think? He's on the team as we speak.
It doesn't sound like they're having meaningful, productive conversation.
It does not.
But I'll say this, and I know you might not think this is a big thing. He was at the White House, and I think that there probably was. I think.
You think that means there's something there for his future? Because Mekhi Becton was there. He's a Charger.
Well, yeah, he is, but he's gone.
Yeah.
I think Howie just strikes me, and I don't know this for sure because this side of Howie is not the Howie that I knew when I was here. But Howie strikes me as a guy that's more personable than, say, a Joe Banner was. And I'm pretty sure that they have that type of relationship where he was like, damn, okay, Howie, what you doing? What's going on?
Getting too comfortable in here? It's only 10, 11.
No, but I'm saying, like, if I'm Dallas and I feel like they have the kind of relationship with Howie that I think it is, it's not, you can ask Howie that, yo, what's going on, man? I mean, what we doing? Like, seriously, what's going on? And I think that Howie has that kind of cachet. Howie's around those guys a lot. I see Howie more so with those guys than I ever saw Joe Banner when he was doing Howie's job. So I feel like it's not out of bounds to have that kind of conversation with Howie because I think Howie will have that conversation.
Yeah, and maybe they have. And I don't think it's going to be an ugly breakup if they move on. But the reality is this. It just feels like they are trying to squeeze him to take their number.
Well, it does. And there's a lot that we don't know about the situation. Maybe the numbers, maybe they are trying to get him to resign. Mm-hmm. And maybe the number that they want him to resign for is not, or the years, is not what Dallas wants.
Maybe. But when they talk about him, they're putting like, for now, as of now, right now.
Well, because they're probably trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And they're also, you got to think too, Joe, they're probably trying to figure out their plan B or C for that matter if it doesn't work out.
Well, we just had the draft. They didn't draft anybody.
Yeah, they didn't draft nobody.
That plan. Now, I feel differently about this if they had drafted a tight end in the second round. Then it would have felt like, okay, they're probably valuing him fairly because they have his replacement already.
Might be negotiating in good faith too. Might be a little bit of that.
I feel like they're doing it too publicly. I don't know.
They're kind of not.
Well, they are.
Well, it's public to us because we don't know the intricacies of the details.
Right, but every time Howie speaks about him, it's almost like a hedge. Like, yeah, he's here right now. We like him.
I mean, because at this point, you don't know how it's gonna go.
But he's on the roster.
Yeah, he is now. But again, might be some conversation or negotiations that the numbers where you want to be and where he wants to be, they're not adding up.
I agree with you, and that's why I think they're undervaluing him. I feel like this is an Eagles problem more than a Goddard problem. 215-592-9494. Let's hear one more from Howie Roseman here the other day post-draft about Dallas Goedert.
Do you see a path where Dallas can come back at this point, and is that the one place maybe you're still a little bit uncomfortable?
Dallas is a heck of a player, heck of a person. Certainly don't want to do anything publicly where we're discussing anyone's business, but have so much respect for him. Been to 2 Super Bowls together, and obviously would love him on this team. You always love having Dallas on this team, but we're not there right now on any of that. But love Dallas Goedert.
When he says we'd love to have him on the team, my response is he's on the team. Yeah. Why is Howie talking about him as if he's a free agent?
Because they're trying to figure this thing out,
because
man.
They're undervaluing him and trying to get him to take a big
what is it, 16 million? 12 million?
14 on the salary,
Sounds
11 on the cap.
16 sounds.
No, they're paying Jason Kelce 16 to do television.
Don't let facts get in the way.
Yeah, they're paying Jason Kelce $16 million on the cap for Kelce to be on WIP.
And he's off the books, right? He's off the books this year.
No, he's on their books for this year.
No, I said after this year he'll be off the books.
I got to check. What?
I'm
not worried about next year. I'm not worried about this year.
I mean, it happens all the time, and that's probably why they don't want to cut Dallas. The way they don't want to do anything abrupt.
Yeah.
But $12 million, Joe, $14 million. It's a lot for a tight end that missed 7 games last year.
Here it is. Company man
No,
Douglas
I'm just being
arrived.
I'm just being honest. I have been on this your biggest asset is your availability train the whole time I've been here. It's the truth. If you're not healthy and you can't play, you put your team in a bind. What would he talk about last year when Slay was here? How he went out like every game. He went out to the sideline and came back like he was Hulk Hogan, like he was the conquering hero.
They kept him.
But they tried to get rid of him, and they brought him back for a cheaper number.
They kept him. I mean,
they brought him back for a cheaper number.
I hear you. All right, Kyle, what do you think on the Goddard thing? As he's still here, but every time Howie talks, it feels like that door is being pushed out.
Yeah, it's annoying me because it feels like they're kind of doing him dirty. Mm-hmm. I like Dallas Goedert, and I think the Eagles have kind of gone too far in 2 directions this offseason, and one of them is with the pinch and penny stuff. Like, haven't we saved enough damn money this offseason for next year? And whatever moves that we can make next offseason feels like we're going to have enough room to be able to bring back Jalen Carter, because that's really the big one next year. I don't see Dallas Goedert being the reason that or being what's getting in the way of bringing back Jalen Carter. Like, weren't you just saying that it's about cash savings and not necessarily cap savings? So, like, I don't understand it from that perspective. But the other thing is, I think the Eagles have done enough to like reset this team for what the Eagles will look like 3-4 years down the line. Like, can they do something that's going to help them win next season? Letting Dallas Goedert go hurts them next year. Like, I've been very clear with how I think the Eagles need to win next season, and that's by doubling down on this offense, and in particular the passing offense. So, like, they don't have enough behind him. I don't think Calcaterra is a good enough Dallas Goedert replacement. Whoever was it Granson and Harrison Bryant? Like, I don't trust these guys to be adequate tight end replacements for Dallas Goedert. Like, Goddard does add another layer to the offense that I think we're going to need. Like, so I don't think we're going to be able to rely as heavily on the run game next year. And even if you do, Dallas Goedert helps you in a big way with that. And I don't think they're going to be able to rely as heavily. They'll still be able to rely on it, but as heavily on the defense next year. This team's going to need to air it out if they want to be competitive and win the Super Bowl again. And like, I don't see any. I just think the upside to bringing Dallas Goedert back totally outweighs whatever it would be to let him go at this point.
I agree. Well, also with that, we know they're going to run it a lot anyway. That's what they do when you have Saquon, you have Jalen Hurts. Dallas Goedert's a really good blocker. I mean, even if you think Calcaterra could play a little bit, he can't block like Dallas Goedert. So you have that aspect. And every other position that they've lost people this offseason, Hugh, and some of it we knew was coming, right? They seem to have something in the pipeline ready to go, right? Ojomo is behind Milton Williams, and now they drafted the Ty Robinson kid. They signed Azeez Ojulari. They have Jalix Hunt developing right behind Josh Sweat. Every one of them, I could kind of like nod my head and say, okay, they have Keely Ringo behind Darius Slay, and they signed Adoree Jackson. What's behind?
Nothing.
Nothing. Even
Calcaterra.
Stop. Even the CJGJ thing, right?
Grant Calcaterra.
They drafted a safety in the second round. What? They have Sidney Brown. There's no tight end here.
I just made everybody mad by saying that.
This is why we call you a company man. This is why.
No, I'm just saying. He was pretty productive. Listen,
Oh, jeez.
Listen to what I'm saying before you start calling me names.
I didn't say you.
I mean, at least can I get it out before you start calling me names?
Joe's about to start calling you tons of names.
I mean,
Once.
it wouldn't be the first time. It'd just be the first time today.
Calcaterra was productive.
He
when
was
got to
pretty
play.
productive.
Yeah,
Now, he wasn't what Dallas Goedert was. And I'm not saying that they would be comfortable going in it to this season with him. But when you talk about the financial perspective, with the games that Dallas has missed in the last 3 years, that's like what? Quick math. That's like 14 games.
Uh-oh.
Cow, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You're going to start drowning if you get into math.
15 games. I did the math real quick. He missed 15 games.
Yeah.
That's a damn near a season. Mm-hmm. You're paying a guy who damn near missed the season.
It's unbelievable.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm trying.
That's spin doctor.
I am not spinning.
Hold on.
Now
How
he's
many
in-
games?
he missed the whole- he
how,
missed
how,
the
before we signed Saquon, how many games did he miss the 3 seasons prior?
Well, but he wasn't. He's been he was healthier this year than he's ever been in any of his Giants.
Maybe Goddard will be super healthy this year.
Well,
Maybe.
that doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
You know what? You're focusing on the wrong numbers. You know what numbers in my head? 61-yard touchdown versus the Saints.
Calcaterra's fine, but you know what this reminds me of was when we were talking about losing players. He was like, A.J. Dillon.
Yeah.
A.J. Dillon.
No,
These scrappy guys.
My job here is to take you behind the curtain. I'm taking you behind the
Yeah,
curtain.
this curtain's silly.
I know, and it makes everybody mad, but I am the drunk uncle at the barbecue.
You, like the Eagles, are undervaluing Dallas Goedert.
Because
That's what
I am looking at it realistically, Joe. And when you talk about paying somebody $14 million who's missed the whole season damn near, it's a lot of money.
Pinch
for a
and
guy.
pennies.
Well, you know, I'm a pinch.
I know. That's why you
But
align with
that's
this.
a whole lot of money to pay a guy who availability is always up in the air.